What's up, everyone? I'm always in my Jeep because I always have dogs to tend to. But I know a lot of people may think switching to raw is a terrible idea or they're on the fence. Let me give you the backstory on how I ended up at totally raw for Bailey and then my clients. So 2002, went to college, got my first dog as an adult, and I wanted the best for her. Of course, I've always been that type of person that wanted the best for the dog. I originally went to college to be a veterinarian, and they honestly didn't make enough money for the amount of school that they had to go through, so switched that over. But I still have a passion for dogs and animals. So 2002, first dog as an adult, wanted the best food for her, and so I started doing research. um, and so in 2002, I used to go into PetSmart, Petco, all those places and argue with the people handing out kibble because they would say, oh, Science Diet is the best, IMS is the best, Eukanuba. But then I would say, hey, your first ingredient is not even a meat. I was on that bandwagon back in 2002. So I would say, hey, this first ingredient is something, byproduct or whatever. So then, I would have to track down the best kibble that they had on the market with meat ingredients, real ingredients, or what I thought was real ingredients. So then fast forward a couple more years, somehow I started breeding pit bulls. Don't know how that happened. Ended up with about 16 pit bulls. So I had to feed them. On a college budget, can't afford kibble. So then I started putting together different things. I had a family that worked on a dairy, so I would get cow's milk or the whey. I would go to the feed store and just starting putting stuff together, just formulating stuff that was great for the puppies, the moms, the older dogs. So it just kind of spiraled out of control. Um, Within, later on, I get Bailey, so I started fixing her food because the kibble would dry her skin out, or she wasn't full, or we were just having a lot of problems. So I continued to fix her food, always adding ingredients, garlic and corn and peas, just doing the best that I could. And then you fast forward a little bit more, I switched over to one of the big commercial raw diets. Not going to give it a shout out to them because it stinks, and I think they're starting to add inferior ingredients, so I don't want to get in trouble. But anyway, I switched over to them, and Bailey, before then, Bailey was having a lot of yeast infections as far as her body, her ears. Switched over to them, and she was smelling horrible. When I switched over to this company, it immediately went away. So I noticed, I was like, well, let me do some more research. That's how I ended up with the raw. And with the raw, like I said, it went out of control. Now I'm a certified professional canine nutritionist. So I actually have the little award, the certification behind my knowledge. So, I've been making dog food off and on almost 18 years now. So, well, anyway, now with Bailey being on raw and then my clients being on raw, I see tremendous results. Skin, I see they're happier dogs. They get full a lot longer. Once Bailey eats a real meal, cause sometimes I'll shorten her because she will overeat. She sits down like she's not hunting for more food, nothing like that. So with the big commercial raw dog food, what I was noticing was with the amount that they said feed Bailey, they'll have it pre-portioned and all that good stuff. Bailey would still be hunting around looking for food, like starving. And my wife is the one that pointed it out. She's like, Bailey's not getting full. So I would have to feed her double what they said the requirement was, and it just wasn't working. It still wasn't working. And so when we moved to Florida, I said, I'm just going to do this full time, jump in head first. And with the clients and with my dog, I'm seeing tremendous results. Beautiful teeth, beautiful gums, coat. I have a nice little roster of dogs. None of them have to go to the vet. I can tell you that right now. None of them have been to the vet since I've been taking care of their food. So we have better breath, better teeth, better coat. I know Bailey would always get dandruff throughout the year. Once I started feeding her diet and started giving her more raw fish and all that other good stuff, And so I would give her smelt. Not all fish is equal, so you have to do a little bit of research on that. But the dryness went away at her fur. Her skin is a lot better. Their skin is better. Her joints are obviously better because she keeps jumping. She's jumping over stuff. She's running out of nowhere. The other night she took off the porch and was running down the field. I had to go catch her. But I'm seeing all these results, and so there's just not a way I could go back. And so I try to tell as many people. Only 1 out of 100 will actually listen to me. So for those one, it's definitely worth it. It's not more expensive. It's not cheaper. But what I look at it as is down the road, you won't have to go to the vet, which that itself, with the vet visit alone costs you X amount. Taking off from work or taking time out of your day, this prescription they're going to put you on that no one knows if it works. It could be something new, and they're experimenting with your dog and you in your pockets. So I don't like any of that. I rather and I prefer vets would actually teach a healthy lifestyle instead of just saying, oh, let's try this out and come back. Because as a dog walker and a professional pet sitter and a canine nutritionist, my best interest is for your dog to be healthy. As a vet, their best interest is for your dog to be sick. And they can take it any way that they want to take it. Bottom line, they can't pay bills if your dog doesn't come in. If your cat doesn't come in, they can't pay their bills. But if they would figure out how to profit off of a healthy pet, which is actually not hard to do, it's kind of like gyms, then I wouldn't be so adamant about raw dog food. I love seeing healthy, happy pets. It just makes everyone's life easier, so that's why I'm just a raw food person. And there's about 20 different ways you can go raw. I have my way, someone else may have their way. I'm not gonna say one is right, one is wrong. So whatever works, it works. I don't want to cause any problems or anything like that. But unlike everyone else, I'm always doing research. I'm always listening to other breeders and raw feeders, and I just want the best for my dogs and my clients' dogs. That's why they're trusting me. But so if you go raw, you can't go wrong. Some people will say it takes more time making it. Well, I mean, if this is your best friend or your child, what's an extra time in the kitchen learning on how to keep them alive longer and happier? So if Bailey died tomorrow, I would be just devastated. But her quality of life has always been top notch, and that's what's most important. You don't want your dog to live to be 30 or 15, but then just a horrible life. I mean, that's torture. So Bailey, I'm hoping she lives to be 50, but if she doesn't, she has the best life. My client's dog as well. I don't want them to always have to go to the vet. Ear infections, yeast infections, all these things can be prevented with the diet, with the proper raw diet. And so, just give it a try. Do some research. We all have our phones and devices, so instead of social media, just start doing some research on your dog to get them a healthier life. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Take it easy.